What's going on, everybody? Citizen JV, and today we're going to be talking about the Outer Worlds. I saved this video for the last piece of content that I'm going to be doing here on my channel for right now. But anyway, so much further ado, let's dive right into this, shall we? Now, what I would really like to talk about the Outer Worlds is this game is an absolute blast. And what I love about this game, it reminds me so much of Fallout 4 to a certain degree. But however, I believe that the Outer Worlds is a little bit better than Fallout 4. Now granted, yes, I do believe Fallout 4 was still a good game. However, I felt like that there was just something about Fallout 4 that just didn't really sit right with me. However, I did play a little bit of Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas back in the day. And Obsidian Entertainment did an amazing job with this game. I love this game to no end. And the reason why I love this game so much, not just because of its RPG mechanics, of course, but I love the world of the game itself. And the world of the Outer Worlds is one of the most interesting and the most vibrant and very well intricate I've ever seen in a game like this. I really think the Outer Worlds is, like I said, it's not just addicting, but what makes it addicting, it's its gunplay, it's its world, it's the art. I love the RPG mechanics in this game. I think Obsidian just did an amazing job on this. And there is one thing I will say. I am very disappointed. That the Outer Worlds 2 is not coming to PlayStation. All the more reason why, because Bethesda got the acquisition of Obsidian Entertainment and Bethesda Softworks. So, which is a bummer, of course, but either or. Now, the Outer Worlds. I love everything about this game. Not just as what I previously mentioned, it's just the fact I like the story. It's very interesting of what an RPG game does. I think when it comes to story, single-player games in general, they are not a dying thing. They really aren't. It's not a dying genre. A lot of people think it is more appropriately because of the fact that there are a lot of people that are more on the multiplayer side of things, which I understand. I get it. But I think as far as when it comes to single-player games in general, especially for me, because I'm more of a single-player gamer myself, but however, I do like playing some games that are better played cooperatively, or maybe sometimes multiplayer, than single-player components as well. But I think when it comes to the Outer Worlds, this game is not just because of a single-player game as it is, or what it does. It's the fact that I love everything all about it. You know, like I say, it's made by Obsidian, as I previously mentioned, and Obsidian made Fallout New Vegas. And like I said, I played a very little of Fallout New Vegas, and I enjoyed it for how much I played. But, yeah, I know. I need to go back into it, don't I? But anyways, point being, what I love about the Outer Worlds, it's not just about what I just said. It has to do with, I really like the quirkiness of it. There is some good sense of humor in this game, and I really like the fact that what this game does and how it entails to a certain type of degree as to what this game really wants to do. And what I'm trying to get to is it just does something that I never really could quite expect when I first played this game. I'm not very familiar with RPG games specifically. I am, honestly, I swear to God. And, I played Fallout 4, played all the way through it, I liked it. But I felt like that the RPG mechanics in that game was a little dumbed down from Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas. However, or even Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion or Morrowind, those were really deep mechanically RPG mechanics as well. But I think when it comes to the Outer Worlds, it definitely has a lot of RPG elements, of course, because they wanted this game to be RPG heavily involved. it shows, and it does it very well. And you can be able to you are able to repair your weapons, repair your gear. But however, what's really nice about the Outer Worlds, other than borrowing it to, like Fallout 3 maybe, or Fallout New Vegas, or Fallout 4, you can be able to do science in this game. And I love the science in this game. I think the science mechanic in the Outer Worlds just does it really good, in my opinion. You could be able to do you could be able to do anything with your weapons. You can put plasma on your weapons. You can put shock. You could put any different types of elements on your weapons and make more efficient of that in any type of specific type of combat. And I think that's what really makes the Outer Worlds so not just different from, but it still feels like a Fallout game. But I think that the Outer Worlds just does something so different and so unique because of its setting. I love the setting in this game. I'm a huge fan. I wouldn't say I'm an obsessed fan, but I'm a huge fan of Star Trek. Other games in particular that kind of fall under that type of genre. But I do believe that the Outer Worlds just does something so differently, as I previously mentioned, and I love that though. I love the fact that what this game does and how it just brings it to life. I felt like when it came to Fallout 4, it was like I said, it did feel dumbed down to that of what Fallout New Vegas or Fallout 3 did, or even like Morrowind or Oblivion when it comes to role-playing mechanics. But overall, I think what I love about the Outer Worlds as well is the interaction with NPCs. You are able to do different kinds of quests, obviously, like side quests and then doing the main story. And what I can say here, though, too, is that I'm very heavily excited getting into the DLCs. Now, there's one thing I would really like to put in here as well, is in fact that I've heard that they have had a PS5 upgrade for this game. And to my understanding, it's not doing so well for the newer generation of hardware, because apparently it's having some frame rate issues and other types of bugs that the game might have. So what I'm trying to say is that I'm not really surprised, but I just think that they could have possibly done a better job. But it is a $10 upgrade. I'm still actually thinking about getting the upgrade as well for PlayStation 5, but I don't know just yet. But however, I'm still going to be continuing to play this game through the backwards compatibility on my PlayStation 5 while playing the PS4 version of the Outer Worlds. So I just thought I'd put that in there real quick. Now, what I will say about the combat in the Outer Worlds, I think the combat just does something. It's not really different per se. It still definitely feels like a Fallout game. Especially Fallout New Vegas specific, not just Fallout 3 or Fallout 4. Fallout 4 didn't really have any type of role-playing mechanics as to where you have to repair your gear or repair your weapons. Fallout 4 didn't have that. But Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas did. And I think that's why a lot of people didn't like Fallout 4 as much as they wanted to. Granted that there were a lot of people, there was still a certain amount of people really enjoyed Fallout 4. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but I really wish that they would have stuck to certain type of a mechanic of role-playing as to where you fix your gear, you fix your weapons, and so on and so forth. So, anyways, another thing I would say, like I said, I love the gunplay in this game. I think the gunplay in the Outer Worlds just does it. It's fascinating to some reason for me. But however, I really think that the Outer Worlds, it's just so awesome. Like I said, I love the world. I love what this game does, and I love the shooting mechanics. I think I wouldn't say it's not one of the best I've seen, I would say. But it's still really good. It's really subpar as to what Fallout New Vegas did specifically. I've watched a lot of video game footage or gameplay on YouTube for Fallout New Vegas, and it definitely shows that the Outer Worlds does have some New Vegas influence a lot of influence, actually, and it shows. And I think that's one of the reasons why I think that this game was so heavily critically acclaimed. The Outer Worlds was definitely critically acclaimed. A lot of people fell in love with this game. I remember I read an article. It was like about a year or two ago. But however, they were saying that it definitely had a lot of Fallout New Vegas vibes. And what I will say, that's a good thing. I can tell you that right now. It really is a good thing, because I thoroughly believe that when you play a game like the Outer Worlds or any other game that has some Fallout feels vibes to it as well, there is one game that kind of does feel like a Fallout, but I personally think that it does a little bit better than Fallout 4. It's called Chernobylite. It came out about a year and a half ago, or maybe 2 years ago, on the current gen and the newer generation of consoles, and I still haven't finished it yet, but however, it's still a great game, and I'm planning on going back to that game at some point. But however, the Outer Worlds, I think what this game does, it just, oh my god, like I said, I just can't get over how fun this game is. It's not just because of its addicting gunplay or its combat or vice versa, but it's what you can do. And obviously, you can still do builds in this game, and that's another thing I think what the Outer Worlds does perfectly as well. It does a really good job of implementation of any type of builds that you can do. You can do like a time dilation sniper build, you can do full tank, which as you see here on my screen, I'm doing full tank, and it's a lot of fun, and when I played Mass Effect, the Legendary Edition, for the first time, all three of them, I might add, I played a little bit of a soldier, I played a little bit of an infiltrator, but however, when I played as a soldier, it felt like that you were overpowered. You can still feel overpowered when you play as an infiltrator as well, because that was more based on stealth as well. But however, when it comes to the Outer Worlds, it's like you have so many different types of implementations that you can do in terms of the builds that you want to be able to progress through the game with. And I think that's what the Outer Worlds does. And I think that the Outer Worlds just does it so magnanimously well, and I love that. I think the Outer Worlds it's one of those games to where I wouldn't say that the game still looks good. It's only like a few years old, but however, this game feels great. And not just because of its gameplay style or gameplay structure or mechanically, is the fact that its visual art style is one of the. It's definitely I think it's amazing. I really like the visual art style in this game. I think when it comes to video games and very specifically, it doesn't matter which game. I'm a very heavy into audio and visual, but I would say I think I'm more highly into visual than audio, more so. But overall, I think when it comes to video games, other than, like having a very unique single-player story or cooperative or multiplayer, I might add. But however, I think when it comes to story single-player driven games, I do believe that the visual art style is always going to be, for me, it's always one of my favorite things that I would like to see in a game, especially when it comes to the Outer Worlds. I think obviously it's a different type of genre, but like the Uncharted series, I love the visuals in those games. I love all types of visuals in all the single player games I have made or played. Not made. So to me personally, I really just think that the Outer Worlds I can't give this game enough praise as much as I am now, because like I said, I do highly recommend playing this game. Pick it up. If you want to pick it up for the newer generation of hardware, you can do that though too. But like I previously mentioned in this video, it's having a little bit of issues on the newer generational hardware. So all I can say is that if you don't want to go with the next gen upgrade for this game, by all means just play the PS4 version, because you're still getting bang for your buck on this game. However, and I just think that the Outer Worlds just does it. It does it justice. It doesn't matter what generation that you play this game on. So that's all I can say about that. So overall, what I will say is that I think the Outer Worlds is definitely one of the best role-playing games I've ever played, much than from, like the Mass Effect series or any other games that do have the role-playing mechanics and vice versa, and a very unique story and how this game feels. Like I said, it feels like a Star Trek game or a little bit of a Mass Effect to a certain degree because of the role playing. But however, I really think that the story in the Outer Worlds it's interesting, and I wouldn't say robust, that's the wrong word, but it's just interesting, and it's very unique to what other games like that, of that type of ilk, of what these games do when it comes to role-playing mechanics and story, and all those different type of elements that you want to see in games like this. But anyways, excuse me. But all I can say is that, like I said, I do highly recommend playing this game. Give this game a shot, and all I can say is that have fun with it. I think it's one of the best Obsidian games other than Fallout New Vegas. I mean, I do have Fallout New Vegas on my PC and on my PlayStation 3, and like I said, I should really dive deep into that game again, because I think I really enjoy that game for what it does, or for what it is. You get to play in the Mojave Desert. That's really cool. But overall, you get where I'm going with this. But anyways, I think that's pretty much it, guys. But please feel free to put any comments or questions you might have. Put them in the comment section below. I'd be more than happy to reply back if and whenever possible. This is Citizen JV. Thank you for tuning in. Have fun, guys. Have a great weekend, and check you guys later. Peace.